Now, functions are fundamental building blocks in JavaScript, allowing you to encapsulate a code into reusable blocks. So they help in making the code modular, maintainable, and easy to understand as well. So in this lesson, we will just cover various aspects of or different aspects of functions in JavaScript, including function declaration, function expression, arrow functions, default parameter, rest parameters, and spread operator. Now, before we begin, let's go ahead and create a folder called functions. And then in functions, we're going to have two files, index.html and app.javascript. Now, to declare a function declaration defines a named function that can be called later. It is hoisted, meaning it can be called before it is defined in the code. For example, we can have a just function declaration. So we could have a function. We can declare a function called greet, and then in this function, we could just console.log. Then we can go ahead and call the function greet. So this will actually output. Sorry, I'm in the wrong document. So it should actually output a hello there when we call that function. Sometimes the function can also take parameters. For example, we could say let's say name, just say hello there, and then we pass the name parameter. So when we call the function, we could actually pass the actual name, let's say Alice. If we look at that, then it's going to say hello there. Oh, sorry, I must make this a template string. Now, if we look at that, then we can say says hello there, Alice. All right. So in this example, greet is a function that takes one parameter, name, and it prints a greeting message. And then now we also have function expression. Now, function expression defines a function as part of a larger expression. Typically, it's just assigned to a variable. So unlike a function declaration, function expressions are not hoisted. Do something like const, let's say greeting, then we can just log, and then we can just call greet, then we can just pass pop. So in this example, then we can actually see hello pop. Now in this example, a function is assigned to a constant greeting and is called with an argument pop. Then we also have arrow functions. Now arrow functions provides a shorter syntax for writing functions and do not have their own meaning, this context, which makes them useful in certain situations like working with callbacks or array methods. For example, we can say, then we can just say console.log working in the, we'll call our function work, and then maybe then we pass our argument working. So walking in the wild, and we can actually see walking in the wild. Sometimes you can have an arrow function with maybe an implicit return for a single expression. So we could have, let's say we've got const add a and b, and then we can just say this will be a plus b, and then we can pass our arguments, let's say 2 and 3. So this will actually output 5 if we go ahead and it actually outputs 5 there. Now, in these examples that we've done, the arrow functions are used to define single functions with more concise syntax. Now, we also have default parameters that allow, or functions with default parameters. So, default parameters, they allow you to specify a default values for a function parameter. So, even maybe an argument is not provided, the default value is used. For example, let's say we have another function called uh, greet me, or something like that, greet me. All right, and then we will have a default parameter, and in here we can just log. Then if we call greet me, and then we pass David, and then we call greet me again, so you'll see that the second one is actually going to default to hello guest. All right, because it's a default. Now if we go ahead and look at that, so it says hello David, and then the second line says hello guest. So it actually defaults to the default value of the parameter. So in this example, if the name parameter is not provided, it defaults to guest. And then we also have rest. Now the rest parameters allow you to represent an indefinite number of argument as an array. So this is useful when you don't know how many arguments will be passed to the function. For example, we can have a function sum, then we can actually do something like numbers, and then in there we can just say return numbers. And then what we can do here, then we can go ahead and console.log, let's say sum, so that will actually output 6, and then we can log, and that will actually output 22. So if we actually look at it, so 6 and 22. Now in this example, the sum takes any number of arguments, sums them up, and returns the results. Okay, and then we also have the spread operator. Now the spread operator allows you to spread elements of an array or an object into another array on object. So it's useful for an array and object manipulation. So the example of a spread now we can also copy some of the examples. We can also, so this is just a syntax, so we can also copy an array like that. So in these examples, the spread operator is actually used to copy an array. So now functions are a key part of JavaScript, enabling you to create reusable code blocks, understanding functions declaration, function expressions, and then some features like arrow functions, default parameters, rest parameters, and spread operator will help you to just write more concise and efficient and readable code